Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. We shall chant from the verse 254. Aids to meditation. Jati niti kul ghotra durakam Nama Rupa Guna Dosha Varjitam Desha Kala Vishayati Vartiyad Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani Yat Param Sakala Vaga Gocharam Gocharam Vimala Bodha Chakshushaha Shuddha Chit Ghananam Shuddha Chit Ghanamanadi Vastu Yad Nama Vastu Vad Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. That Brahma Tattvam you are. Thus you meditate in your heart. What is that Brahma Tattvam? Jati Niti Kula Gotra Duragam. It is beyond caste, creed, and Kula, Gotra, your lineage, etc. Nama Rupa Guna Dosha Varjitam. And it has got no dosha, imperfections of Nama, Rupa, Guna, etc. Desha Kala Vishayati Vartiyat. It is beyond Desha Kala Vastu. And that is the Brahma Tattvam. Tattvamasi, that is that you are. You meditate in your heart. So, yesterday Gurudev said these 10 verses are pointers where we have to sit in the seat of meditation, contemplate on these verses. So, when you chant this and contemplate on it, your mind will be lifted from the mundane to the supreme. And then we have seen yesterday the second shloka also in this Yatparam Sakala Vaga Agocharam, which is beyond the expression of speech. Gocharam Vimala Bodha Chakshusha. But it is available for Vimala Bodha Chakshusha, the eye of knowledge, the clear understanding, the clear intuitive understanding. Shuddha Chit Ghanam Anadi Vastriyad. It is a mass of consciousness which is beginningless. Yat Brahma Tattvamasi iti bhavayami atmani. So you meditate in your heart thus. So till this we have seen. Today we shall read 256. Shadbhirurmi bhira yogi yogi hrid Urmi bhi yogi hrid Bhavitam na karanair vibhavitam Na karanair vibhavitam Buddhya vedhya manavadhyamasti yad Manavadhyamasti yat Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani Shadbhirurmi bhira yogi yogi hrid Bhavitam na karanair vibhavitam Vidya Vedyamanabadhyamasti yad Yamanabadhyamasti yad Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani Shadbihi Urmibihi Ayogi Shadbihi Urmibihi, meaning there are 3 waves of sorrow, 6 waves of sorrow. Shadbihi, 6 waves of sorrows. Ayogi, it is not associated with that. The Brahma Tattvam, which is the Atma Swarupam, is not associated with these 6 waves of sorrow. Why it is called as waves of sorrow? Because it comes one after the other. So it is called as 6 waves of sorrow. Shadbihi, Urmibihi. What are those? Kshut Pipase, Shoka Mohau, Jara Mrityu, Urmivad, Tarangavad, Upari, Sambhavanti iti Ete, Shadbi Urmi iti Katyate. Meaning what? Kshut Pipasa means the hunger and thirst that afflicts all the beings. Hunger and thirst. Shoka Mohau. In the mind level, Shoka. Suddenly we become very depressed, moved out, and we go into our shell. Shokam. And Moha, delusion. Not only one delusion, there are so many delusions. Moham. Shoka Moha. And Jara Mrityu. Jara means old age and death, Mrityu. So they come for everyone. But this Brahma Tattvam is ayogi. It is not united with all these 6 waves of sorrows. Yoga means yuj, to unite. Ayogi means it is not associated with these 6 waves of sorrow. So the Kshut Pipasa, the hunger and thirst, is in the prana, in the pranamaya kosha. We have seen, na? So that is not associated with the Atma, the self. That belongs to the pranamaya kosha. And Shoka Moha, where is it? In the mind, manomaya kosha. And this Jara Marana, this old age and death is in the physical, this Annamaya kosha. So Atma, the self, which is the Brahma Tattvam, has nothing to do with all these 6 waves of sorrows. Urmihi. Urmibihi. Urmibihi means 6 waves of sorrow. Shada means 6. Urmi means sorrow. Waves of sorrow. Shadbihi, Urmibihi. Ayogi. And see, this is the poetic expression. Shadbihi, Urmibihi, Ayogi, Yogi, Hrit Bhavitam. Bhavitam is in the 2nd line. And it is always meditated upon by the yogis in their heart. Yogi Hrit Bhavitam. It is meditated upon in the heart by the yogis. Na Karanair Vibhavitam. And any of these equipments, sense organs or mind, cannot Bhavitam, cannot illumine. It cannot comprehend. It is beyond. Buddhi Avedhyam. The Buddhi cannot reach there. It cannot peep into there. It cannot know. And Anavadhyam asti yad. Even though the Buddhi cannot peep there and cannot know it, it is Anavadhyam. Anavadhyam means what? Gurudev here translated it as unimpeachable. Or not questioned, not doubted at any point of time. Because our own existence cannot be doubted. You can doubt anything else in the world, but our own existence we can never doubt. It's unquestionable. Anavadhyam yad Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. That is the Brahma Tattvam, and that you are, you meditate upon. So how should we live this whenever these modifications happen in the body level, in the prana level, in the mind level? We should be able to distance ourselves and say all this belongs to the Annamaya, Pranamaya and Manomaya, and it doesn't belong to the Atma, the self. And the sense organs and mind and buddhi cannot know it. Even though it is known by Vimala Chakshu, Bodha Chakshu, by the intuitive eye of knowledge, but not by the ordinary buddhi, it is not available. But still it is unquestionable. Without any doubt, it shines. There is no doubt about it. So, and that is the Brahma Tattvam. This is how we have to contemplate. Anavadhyam, unquestionable, meaning you cannot doubt it. I am, and I don't need anybody's validation for that. I am. You understand? So this is how we have to contemplate. So these are all the slokas for contemplation. Nothing much to explain. You know the meaning, now you have to contemplate on it. So what is contemplation? Yesterday Gurudev beautifully explained. You have to feel about what you think. So the mind and the buddhi coming together is called as the heart. Through heart you have to contemplate. This bhavana it is said. Through heart you have to contemplate. That is what Gurudev explained yesterday. We have seen it. Then 257. Bhranti kalpita jagat kalashrayam swashrayam cha sadasadvilakshanam nishkalam nirupamana vadhiyad brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani Bhranti kalpita jagat kalashrayam swashrayam cha sadasadvilakshanam nishkalam nirupamana vadhiyad brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Bhranti kalpita jagat kala ashrayam. See, what is this world? Jagat bhranti kalpita. It is all imagined because of our delusion. Even though it is imagined because of our delusion, so this Atma, the self, or this Parabrahma, Paramatma is ashrayam, is a substratum. Even for this superimposition, for this imagination, Atma, the self, is a substratum. See, without the rope, snake can never appear. Is that not so? Even for the ghost to appear, there should be a post. So similarly, this Jagat, this world of names and forms, though it is imagined out of our delusion, but still it cannot be just imagined like that without the self. On the self, this is projected or this is superimposed. So the self or the Atma Tattvam is the ashrayam, is a substratum for this projection also of the world of names and forms. But Swa-ashrayam, so what this self depends on, or what is the substratum of the self, if you ask, it is Swa-ashrayam. It is not dependent on anything. It is independent. Swa-ashrayam. It stands on its own leg, meaning what? That is the adharam for itself. So that is the beauty of the self. It depends on nobody, nothing else. See, this thought just crossed my mind. Suppose we have lost everything in life, let us say. Our wealth we have lost. We have lost everything. Our relationships we have lost. Everything we have lost, let us say. And suppose sometimes we feel very low, that we have not achieved anything. We are just useless. Still, this one thing is enough to make us so proud and happy. Not proud, in fact so happy and very blissful. That I am the self, that nobody can take away from me. I am the self, true self, and which is a satyam, and which is anantam, and which is the substratum of everything. And therefore, There is no need to panic, no need to feel low or bad. I am the Supreme Self. That one thought is enough to keep us always afloat. How beautiful. Everything can be taken away, but not the self. And we are of the nature of the self. See, irrespective of whatever we may be, but that is the adharam on which everything else is projected. So this personality, whoever he may be, whatever he may be, a success or a failure, with or without all these, wealth or relationships or comforts, but still I am the self. That one thought is enough to keep us going. Is that not so? How beautiful it is. Thank God we are the self. Because then there is nothing for us to feel good about it. We have got this. I am the self. That Brahma Tattvam I am. Not an ordinary I am. That which is the substratum of the whole universe I am. That nobody can take away from me.
How to get this Vimala above the Chakshusha?
That we will come. Because we are reading the next verse now, please. We will discuss it later. Because we are reading the next verse now. So it will be a sort of a distraction now. So, Swa Ashrayam cha Sad Asad Vilakshanam. It is Vilakshanam means distinctly different from Sad and Asad. Sad means here gross. Asad means subtle. See, in different contexts, these words are used differently. We should know where what is used. See, generally Sad means Satyam. But here, what we believe as Satyam, whatever is available to our senses only we believe as Satyam. Na? That is gross, whatever things are seen. That is why Sad here in this context it means the gross objects. Inge Asad means what? Not gross, the subtle ones. Not available for the senses as such, but the mind can feel the emotions and thoughts. Na? So Sad Asad Vilakshanam. It is beyond or it is distinctly different from the gross world of objects what you see in the world outside, and also the emotions and thoughts which is inside. It is Vilakshanam. Because it illuminates all. It knows all. So the knower is different. The knower is different from the known. Therefore, Vilakshanam. Nishkalam. It has no parts, no limbs, no hands, legs, etc. It is the whole. It is Puranam. So therefore, Nishkalam. Nirupamana Vadhyat. No Upama. Upama means you cannot compare it with anything. Upamana means solla mudiyad. It is like. You cannot describe it. You cannot compare it with anything. It is beyond. Nothing in the world which can be compared to it, except very close is space. Gagana Upamam. Vyomavad. Vyoma also means space. Gagana means space. So this is the closest example we can give and not beyond. As I told you the other day, even the space is not the Atma, the self. Because in the deep sleep, the idea of space is gone. It comes along with the mind only, the idea of space. So, but in the deep sleep also, this is available. You understand? So therefore, Nirupama, you cannot. That is why some girls are named as Nirupama. My girl is, what? She cannot be compared to anyone. That is how every father thinks. I don't know about mothers, but every father thinks, my girl is my princess. She is very special to me. And you cannot compare her to anybody, That is how every father thinks about every stupid child. Not only girls, I mean the boys also. Don't stare at me. Every stupid boys also, all the mothers think that way only. He is very special to me. He is my own boy. You know what? He is like Sri Rama. He is like Sri Rama. All the mothers want the boys to be like Sri Rama. Nishkalam nirupamana vadhyat brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. That Brahma Tattvam you are, that you meditate on your heart, in the heart. See, but Bhagavan talks about this heart as something wonderful. Spiritual heart, he says. This heart, Hrid Ayam, this is the center of everything. Meaning where the thoughts rise and into which the thought goes back. And he gives us a spot, a place in our physical body. He says, the Irandu Virakkadai Valadu Pakkam, the right side, 2 fingers this way. He says that is the place where the spiritual heart is placed, he says. What is spiritual heart? From where all the thoughts rise. And somebody asked him, where is the sort of reference in our scriptures? What is the authority? He said, my own experience is authority. He said like that. It is my own experience, he said. So, in that Hridayam, spiritual heart, in the heart means another meaning is core of your personality. So, as Gurudev says, where the emotions and the thoughts or thinking, they come together. Emotion means the love and devotion. Thinking means the serious thinking, contemplation. Both when they come together, that he calls his heart. So in the core of your personality, in the heart, you always contemplate that I am that Brahma Tattvam. I am not this Alpa body and mind. It is very Alpam. When you identify with only one body and mind, Alpam. It is like the mud identifying with one pot and saying, you know, I am so special. But if you identify with the mud, you are the self of all pots. So when you identify with the Atma, the self, that is the self of all. See how ridiculous we have become from the self of all to the self of one particular, body and mind. And we are so scared of losing this also. Something happens to this, we are so disturbed. So therefore, meditate in your heart all this. Now moving on. 258. Janma Vruddhi Parinatya Pakshaya Vyadi Nashana Vihinam Avyayam Visvashristya Bhava Vidada Karanam Dada Karanam Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani Janma Vruddhi Parinatya Pakshaya Vyadi Nashana Vihinam Avyayam Vishwasrishtya Vavidhadha Karanam Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Janma means birth, to come into being. Janma. Vruddhi. Vruddhi means the growth. From the small child it grows. All the cells grow. Vruddhi adayiradu. It grows, it develops. Parinati, the change, it changes. And then what? Apakshaya, decay. Vyadi, disease. Nashana, death. These are all the dharmas of the body. Is that not so? Body come into existence one day and we celebrate it. Happy birthday to you. And today we celebrate a New Year. New Year. Swamiji, wish you a very happy New Year. My question is, what has happened suddenly? Nothing happened. Nothing changed. Swamiji, New Year, New Year. First thing what you do is very important. What is New Year? I really don't understand. Similarly, birthday. I am born. Romba sandosh, romba proud you are. And you are going to suffer. So, birth, vruddhi, and the growth, and becoming a youth. Energetic, dynamic. And then parinati, the change happens continuously. Then he gets married, he begets children, slowly becomes a middle-aged person, 45, 50, then blood pressure, then diabetes, cholesterol and whatnot, and then decay, and then disease, whatsoever disease. Nowadays doctors, when they don't know anything about this disease, it is because of diabetes, It will be like that only. So we also accept it, okay. And then the death. So all these vihinam, it is not there in the self. Because self has got nothing to do with this body. Similarly, joys and sorrows, mana, apamana, these are all the dharmas of the mind and buddhi. So all these things have nothing to do with the self. Vihinam, the self has got nothing, none of these qualities. None of these dharmas belong to the mind, belong to the self. So vihinam avyayam means what? It will not perish. Avyayam. Vyaya means to perish. Avyayam, that which will never perish, never change, and it will never perish. That is the self. But that is the cause, Vishwa Srishti. So that is the cause of the universe. Ava means the sustenance, and Ava vidhata karanam, and also for the destruction. Meaning what? Only when the substratum is there, something can be superimposed. So that way it becomes the karanam, becomes the cause for this universe. And the Maya Shakti of the self, that only nourishes, sustains everything. And then everything is destroyed at the end. So without the adharam, all this thing, parinamam, cannot happen. As if it is happening. The srishti, sthiti, laya is all happening as if. But this is the cause, means what? Without the ashrayam, adharam, this cannot happen. So that is the substratum for all the world and its creation, sustenance and destruction. But it is not created and it is not destroyed. It is the self. That Brahmatattvam is your own self. Bhavayatmani. Contemplate thus. You understand? But when you go through disease, it's painful only. Swamiji, you said I am the self, I have nothing to do with the pain. But have we learned to stand apart? We do not know the art of standing apart. We identify. So slowly when you mature in your understanding and when you go deeper in your sadhana, you know how to stand apart. By standing apart, you know that the pain is, but the sufferer is not born. Pain is experienced, but the sufferer is not born. See how beautiful it is. Please think about it. There is the experience, but the experiencer is not born. See, that is the ultimate state. So that happens slowly only, not immediately. See, even though you may be a seeker of say 20, 30 years, but still you may go through and you suffer only. That is real maturity. See, when you say self-abidance, it is nishtha. It is not only self-knowledge, it is abidance in the self. Like Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna, like that, one who are rooted there, for them, they are aware of the pain, but they are not that way affected because the sufferer is not born. It is not that they are not aware of the pain. They are aware of the pain. But only thing is somehow they are in a very different state. The sufferer is not born. They may even express uncomfort, discomfort. They may express all those things for you to see. But you cannot fathom that state, where they are, how they live. It is very different. For us, whenever we are in pain or we are in distress, we have to think again and again. It belongs to the body. It doesn't belong to me. So this will reduce the suffering actually. When you start thinking, why to me? Why am I suffering when all these people are happy? They are healthy. Why God has given this to me? like that, if you take a stand and sympathize with this ego self, then there is only suffering. When you start asking why for me, there is no sort of answer. At the most, what people can say, because of your karma. How does it help? Okay, because of my own karma I am suffering, okay, I will not at least blame others. But there is no choice, you have to face it. So, when you think it all belongs to the body, and whatever may be the reason, I have nothing to do with it. By taking this stand, initially the pain will not go, or the suffering will not go. But definitely you can handle it better, and the suffering will be reduced a lot. You understand? So that is why suffering can be reduced. Yes?
Somebody is given some footnotes here.
Yeah.
The rise and fall of man, kindle life.
Yeah, it's all the book he is giving a reference, Kindle Life. Kindle Life is a book for the beginners actually. So that is a footnote. See, all these things you should discuss with me after the class now. Because when we are talking, it is blocked the flow of thought. See, if it is a serious question, you can ask in between, sort of, if you are really, but these footnotes and all, you can always ask me later. Okay. So, Vishwa Srishti Ava Vidhata Karanam. So that is the cause for the Srishti Sthiti Laya. That Brahma Tattvam, that is my own self. Thus contemplate. So you know what? You don't realize now. We are in the heart of Vivekachudamani. And we are in the heart of contemplation of the self. These 10 verses are the masterpiece of Vivekachudamani. See, Vivekachudamani itself is a masterpiece of Advaita Vedanta. In that, these 10 verses are very special. And Gurudev mentions it again and again. So, early morning we are able to study, understand, and able to contemplate means nothing like that. And we are starting the new year with this divine contemplation. So if you are happy to hear this, I am ready to tell you that. New year, we are beginning it with divine contemplation. Okay. Astabhedamana pasta lakshanam Nistaranga jala rashi nishchalam Nitya muktama vibhakta murti yad Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Only from the inspired heart such poems can come out, not through ordinary heart. See, similarly, this, what is that, Arunagirinada's? Arunagirinadaruடைய. You are talking something else. Tirupugal. Arunagirinada's Tirupugal, if you listen, my God, it cannot come out of ordinary human being, you know. The way he expresses. Even the person who is a master of Tamil will struggle to understand and appreciate it. Because you have to split it and understand. But see, it is not, you think about it and then you write and then strike it off and use another word. It's not that. You cannot write it like that. Madai Teranda Vellam Pul, that. My God, these great masters, highly inspired. And similarly, Kavya Kanta is called. Ganapati Muni is called as Kavya Kanta. It is here. These, they are all Varakavis. Spontaneous, they can write poems. So, see, Shankara's poem, see, Asta Bheda Mana Pasta Lakshan, Nista Ranga Jala Rashi Nishchala, Nitya Mukta. Pretty poetry. So beautiful it is actually. If you can appreciate, it's really beautiful. Once again, Asta Bheda Mana Pasta Lakshanam, Nista Ranga Jala Rashi Nishchalam, Nitya Muktamabhi Nitya Muktam Avibhakta Murti Yad Avibhakta Murti Yad Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Asta Bedam. Bedam means what? The differences. The Bedangal. I am different, the world is different. In the world also, human beings are different, birds are different, animals are different. So all these Bedam, Astamanamaish, Astam. It has set. Set means what? Everything has gone. All the Vedas have gone, once and for all. Asta Bhedam, where all these differences have set. Have set means have merged in the self, and no differences are seen. That is the truth. Asta Bhedam. Anapasta Lakshanam, meaning what? Never of the nature of non-existence. Though all the differences have ended, it has not ended. Never it can be a thing of non-existence, meaning never it can go into non-existence. It is ever present. So Asta Bhedam Sonar, all the differences, all the Vedas have set, have gone. But this has not gone. This can never become non-existent. Non-existence. That is Anapasta Lakshanam. It can never become non-existence. And how it is? Nistaranga Jalarashi Nishchalam. Jalarashi means the ocean. Means so much of water is accumulated, collected. Jalarashi. And how this ocean? Nistaranga Jalarashi. No waves, no disturbances. You imagine a big, huge ocean which is so calm and quiet. Still, not even waves in the periphery. Just still, frozen. Just imagine in your mind, ocean which is so vast, but still, as if frozen. That is the self, like it is infinite, but there is nothing in it. It is still. So, Nistaranga Jala Rashi Nishchalam. Nishchalam. There is no movement there. Chalanam means to move, movement. Nishchalam. That is our nature. But all these agitations and sorrows are there in the periphery, out of our own making, out of our own foolishness. We give value to things which are not worthy. We give so much of value to so many things which are not really worthy. That is why there are so much of agitation, confusion, worries, anxieties. All these things are in the periphery only. But when you go deep, nothing can enter there. It is what? Nistaranga Jalarashi. It is like the stilled ocean, absolutely quiet and serene. That is the self. That is our own self. And it is available for us whenever we want, because it is our own self. But Swamiji, whatever said and done, my mind is terrible. Oh Rama, I am unable to come out of it. It's troubling me so much. Okay, because of our karma, we are suffering, whatever may be the reason. But now, forget about all those things. Hold on to this. I am the pure self, and in me there is nothing. There is nothing to worry, nothing to regret, nothing to be anxious. Bygones are bygones, and nothing to look forward in the future. The present is Satyam, and I live in the presence. As a self, I am the blissful one. Nobody can take it away from me. That is the beauty of the self. And Nitya Muktam. See, it is always free. Nitya Muktam. It is not that we are bound now, after sadhana, we have become free. No, even now we are free only. We do not know that. That is our problem. That is called as ignorance. No? We do not know that. Whether you know it or not, you are free. Nitya Muktam, the self is always free. It can never be bound because there is nothing there in the self to bind it. It is ever free. Then what about the ignorance, Swamiji? Don't talk about ignorance now. We do not know how it has come, why it has come, whether it is there or not. We don't know. When you go beyond, you know that it is Nitya Muktam. Always, ever it is free. Nitya Muktam. Avibhakta Murtim. Avibhaktam means what? It cannot be divided. Vibhaktam means division. Vibhaktam. Avibhakta means it cannot be divided into the knower and the known. It cannot be divided. But somehow this division has happened. Whatever may be the reason, the division we are seeing, as if we are seeing. And this is me. And all these things are, I don't know what it is. So whatever is giving me happiness, those are mine. The rest of the things I don't care. That is how we live. Nah? But first of all, this division has never happened. The seer and the seen, the experiencer and the experienced, the knower and the known. So avibhaktam, when the experience and experience bheda has gone, the appreciation of one alone, that is the Brahma Tattvam. So therefore there is nothing called as world separate from the self. Nothing called as God separate from the self. See, these are all the vibhaktam, divisions. We say the jiva is separate, the God is separate, and I am separate, the world is separate. See, this is all the vibhaktam. These divisions are not valid. It's not there in the Supreme Self. So that Brahma Tattvamayam. So therefore, an intelligent person, a person who has studied Vedanta should never create differences. There are differences in the world, Vyavahara, apparently. But we should not create more and more of differences and divide the society, divide the world. Where the mind is without fear, where the head is held high, where the knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken into narrow domestic walls. Into that heaven of freedom, O Father, my country awake. Rabindranath Tagore in Gitanjali. Where the world has not been broken into narrow domestic walls. Into that heaven of freedom, O Father, let my country awake. What a beautiful poem. See, we divide and everything we divide. And because of division, there is always strife, struggle, competition, and wars, everything. But unfortunately, in the Vyavahara, there is division. That is only apparent, not actual. So, as a seeker, see in Bhagavad Gita, the chapter, I suppose 16 or 17, wherever these three gunas are explained, 16 I suppose, three gunas are explained. 14 Gunatreva, okay, 14th chapter. So there Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, the sattvic person, he will not create division. Even though there are differences, he will not create division. He will try to say everything is one. But the Rajasic person, he creates all the differences. And he thrives only in the difference, like divide and rule. That is Rajasam. So because this division is not true, this Bhedam is not true, the seeker should not do it. See, if you are marching towards the oneness, then how can you differentiate everything? See, but once again a warning. In the Vyavahar, you should not function in a stupid way, you know. You should not become stupid. That you should know. See, Adan Solar Yoga Swami, very, very wise person. He says, Naya Nadatama, Naya Nadatu, Pay Nadatama, Pay Nadatumba, Vyavaharatala. Meaning, Vyavahara, there are certain niyamas, certain things have to be done that way. But heart of the heart, we should not have this kind of, tartamya. He is, inferior, I am superior. All those things should not be. Because of the race, because of the color, or because of language, because of religion, people should not be hated. We should not create differences. But Swami, the other person is hating me, what will I do? He is hating because of ignorance, that is fine. But why should you hate? See, this is the individual standpoint for the seeker. But when it comes to society, it is a different standpoint. That is always different. See, when your country is attacked, when your country is attacked by the enemies, then you cannot say, your power out of ignorance is doing. We should not create difference. Hello, bye, come, my dear brother, Pakistani fellow, come into my room, come into my country. You can loot anything you want. You can kill anybody. You can convert anybody. Because we are all bye, and I see only one. That fellow should be killed. First, that fellow should be killed. Nonsense this is. That is not the Vyavahara. That is why Krishna, what he said to Arjuna, you fight, go and kill, he said. Krishna is Yogeshwara Krishna. He has given out Bhagavad Gita. So he knows everything. Does he not know the oneness? He was abiding always in oneness. He is Purnavadhara. So why should he say go and fight? Because when adharma is there in the society, it has to be eradicated. It has to be destroyed. See, that is what I am very, very, very clear about things, cautioning you. When it comes to your individual sadhana practice, something else. Your vision, something else. But when it comes to the societal cause, the rules are different actually. That is why Bhagavad Gita is a very beautiful practical guide for everything. People think Krishna is a warmonger. How can he instigate this war? He never instigated the war. He actually gone for peace only. And he pleaded with the Duryodhanadis for peace only. But he knows they will never budge. You understand? See, suppose if there is a wound in your right hand and has become very septic and gone deep, let us say. Suppose the doctor says the hand has to be amputated, otherwise the whole body will become, this thing, and you will lose your life. Then what you have to do? You have to amputate the hand. There is no other go. No. How can I amputate my hand? No. I really love it, It is also part of my body, No. For the good of the whole, if the part has to be sacrificed, it has to be sacrificed. For the well-being of the whole. So this is a different dharma. Please understand this. Otherwise we become stupid, There are some stupid people in the world. Everybody, you have to, the border should not be there. Everybody should be allowed to come and eat in your plate. And they can run riot, they can do anything in your world, in your country. Because we feel very this thing about everybody. See, this is nonsense. There are rules in the world to play with. See, there are sattadittam, laws, regulations. That has to be followed. There, this should not be applied. Please understand. Don't confuse yourself. Swamiji, oneness means what, Swamiji, we have to be very kind to we have to be kind to everybody, no doubt about that. But when it comes to this thing, it's a different story actually. So therefore, nitya muktam, avibhaktam. Then are we not creating differences? See, we are not creating any differences. We always feel we are one only. The Hindus, especially Sanatana Dharmis, they don't go to conquer any land. They don't go to convert anybody. They don't go to disturb anybody. But if somebody comes to attack us and do away with our culture, then we have to protect it. Is that not so? It's a basic dharma actually. When somebody says this is anyayam, I cannot accept it. saying that, we are all one. Yes, we are all one. So, this is within ourselves. This has to be. Hate the sin, not the sinner. That is how it is. But if you allow the sin to prosper, go unchecked, then what happens? Destruction of the society. So therefore, we have to be very clear. Avibhakta murti yad brahma tattvamasi bhavya. But from the jnani standpoint, it's a very different story. He doesn't see any world apart from him. You understand? But even then, he supports the good cause, the noble cause in the world, Vyavahara also. Gurudev Swami Chinmayanji is the first president of VHP. And the VHP started in Sandipani Sadhanalaya. There are pictures, photos available. The first meeting happened in Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Mumbai. And Gurudev Swami Chinmayanji was the first president of VHP, it seems. That's what I was told. And somebody showed the picture also. So Gurudev always supported this cause, Hindu cause, because he says we have to support it, because it is very sacred. See, we don't go to hurt anybody, and we don't go to disturb anybody. We in fact say everything is one. Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam only we say. Sarva Loka Sukhino Bhavantu is our prayer. Even if somebody is not believing in our faith, we say that is fine. That is okay. If that is your standpoint, that is fine. Because ultimately we don't also believe in anything. What is that? Ultimately we don't also believe in anything. We believe in only one thing. That is the truth. That is the self. We don't believe in anything else. Whatever is projected, we say it's imagination. We don't believe in anything actually speaking. See, as Sanatana Dharma, as Vedantis, we don't believe in anything except the one, which is the truth, the Satyam. Other than that, everything is Asatyam. That is how we have been taught, we have been groomed. See? So we should not create division. And in our own Sanatana Dharma, we create divisions. I am a Saivite, you are a Vaishnavite, and I belong to that tradition, this tradition, Nasa Sampradaya I belong to, you belong to Advaita Sampradaya, and they fight. Tani Kaimalai. So this is that Brahma Tattvam which is undivided, which cannot be broken. That is the self that I am. Now moving on to the 260th verse. Ekameva sadaneka karanam karanantara nirasa karanam karya karana vilakshanam swayam Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani Ekameva sadhaneka karanam karanantara nirasa karanam karya karana vilakshanam swayam Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. This verse has to be understood in a proper way, in the right spirit. Ekameva sad, the truth, that is the pure self, the Brahma Tattvam. Ekameva, it is one only, but aneka karanam, that is the cause for all the multiplicity, plurality. Why? Without the substratum, no projection, no superimposition cannot happen. In the Ajnana Dasha, we imagine so many things. But all those imaginations are also possible because of the substratum. Because of the Atma Chaitanyam illumining the intellect only, even the multiplicity is seen. See? So that is the karanam for all the aneka, all the many, the plurality. Aneka karanam. Karanantara nirasa karanam. Meaning what? It actually refutes all other causes. That is the only cause. You cannot attribute any cause to anything else. That is the actual cause. It refutes all other causes. Karanantaram means what? It refutes all other causes. Nirasa karanam. By itself, it is not caused by anything. See? Nirasa karanam means the Atma, the self, is not caused by anything. It is always present, eternal. Though it is one, it becomes the cause for the many. And no other cause is accepted. Even if you say Maya, it is the inherent potential of the Lord. See, it is not other than the self actually. So therefore, no other cause for this multiplicity. And what is the cause of this self if you ask? It has no cause, costless. Costless cause. Though you say all these things, it is beyond cause and effect. See? Karya karana vilakshanam. Like it's like play of words, but it's not play of words. Karya karana vilakshanam means if you consider the effect is the world, cause is the avidya or maya. It is beyond both. So I will repeat again for your understanding. Ekameva sat. The truth is only one, but that is the cause for aneka karanam. Cause is an because of the substratum only, the superimposition can happen. That way it is the cause. You understand? You cannot attribute any other cause because even if you say it is Maya, it is not other than the self. Meaning, it is the inherent potential of the Lord only, of the Brahma Tattvam only. So no other cause can be attributed. Then, if the question is posed, what is the cause of this Atma Tattvam or Brahma Tattvam? It is causeless. இங்கே வானத்துலேருந்து குதிச்சுதோ வானமே அதுலேருந்து தான் குதிச்சுது. How is that? So therefore, it is causeless cause. Actually speaking, it has nothing to do with the effect, cause or effect. It is vilakshanam. Even the Maya, from the standpoint of the Brahman, it is not. From the standpoint of the Brahman, actually from the standpoint of the Brahman, it is not. So therefore, it is beyond cause and the effect. That causeless cause, which is beyond the cause and effect, that is me, that is the self. See? That is the self. Atma Tattvam, Brahma Tatttvamasi, Bhavayatmani. You thus meditate about the self in your own heart. Is it disturbing you? The song? Disturbing? If it is disturbing, you are not concentrating. Everybody. இப்படி சொன்னா அப்படி சொல்லுவோம், அப்படி சொன்னா இப்படி சொல்லுவோம். Nirvikalpakam, nirvikalpam, nirvikalpakama, nalapak. Yo, wait. Nirvikalpakam. You chant like this. Nirvikalpakam, analpamaksharam, yaksharaakshara, vilakshanam param, nityam avyaya, sukham niranjanam, brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. So when you said it is disturbing you, they have stopped it, see. Nirvikalpakam analpamaksharam, yaksharaakshara vilakshanam param, nityam avyaya sukham niranjanam, Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Nirvikalpakam. Vikalpa means what? Those thoughts which are creating the differences between the seer and the seen. So there are no thoughts there which are creating differences. Nirvikalpakam. Analpam. Alpam means what? Limited. Alpam. Meaning what? Very mean, very limited. But is analpam, it is infinite. You cannot put it in any box. It is infinite. Analpam. Aksharam, which will not perish. Ksharam means which will perish. Aksharam, which will not perish. So this self is nirvikalpakam. There are no differences whatsoever in it. Because the thoughts only create all the differences. All the thoughts have subsided in the heart. Therefore, it is nirvikalpakam. Analpam, infinite. Not alpam. It is opposite of alpam. Infinite. And aksharam, which will not perish. Yat kshara akshara vilakshanam param. Here, it is beyond kshara and akshara. See, earlier you said it's aksharam. But now you are saying beyond kshara and akshara. Kshara means which is perishing. That we can understand. The world is perishing. But here in this context, akshara means the cause, the maya tattvam is akshara. Comparatively to the changing world, the maya is changeless or it is not perishing. Comparatively only. But in the Brahma tattvam there is nothing. You understand? So here akshara means maya tattvam. So the cause and the effect, actually it means cause and the effect. Kshara means the effect, which is perishing. Cause means the maya, which is not perishing. From the relative standpoint, please, you should understand this. So the cause is beyond the kshara and akshara. Kshara purusha, akshara purusha, alla varudillaya. And purushottama, all those stuff. So he is beyond the kshara and akshara. Akshara and Param, he is the supreme. Nityam avyaya sukham. Ever present, nityam, eternal, avyaya sukham. That sukham, that bliss, which will not go away, which will not perish. Meaning ever blissful. That state is ever blissful. Whatever may be the mind state, whether it is tamasic or rajasic or sattvic, whether it is inspired or uninspired, it doesn't matter. Whatever may be the state of the body, it doesn't matter. Whatever may be the state of the buddhi, doesn't matter. Whatever happening around doesn't matter. It is ever blissful state. See, that is our own state, our own nature. So, having this kind of a nature, we behave oppositely. Like how? Nityam avyaya dukkham we behave. Always miserable. As if this misery won't change. So, nityam avyaya sukham niranjanam. Very pure is my nature. So again and again and again these thoughts are repeated. So actually, in the teaching of Vedanta, Gurudev points out, this repetition is not a dosham. It's not a dosham. It is required, he says, because we may forget, and sometimes, when it is said first time we may not understand or appreciate. When it is repeated, sometimes it clicks, sometimes it hits. So therefore you cannot avoid repetition, Gurudev says. So even Upanishads, they again and again bring in the same idea, Through different Upanishads, same thing is pointed out. And if you see Vivekachudamani also, how much he has spoken about the discrimination between the not self and the self. And Atma Bodham also, it is the same thing repeated. So therefore, here again and again these words are used, Niranjanam, Avyayam, all those words. Brahma tattvam, tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Thus you meditate on Atma, the self, in the cave of your heart. Atmani. Yad vibhati sadanekadha brahmat. Nama rupa guna vikriyatmana. Hemavat swayama vikriyam sadha. Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Yad vibhadi sadanekadha brahma. Nama rupa guna vikriyatmana. Hemavat swayama vikriyam sadha. Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Yad vibhati anekada brahmat. Meaning what? Out of delusion, brahmat, whatever we see as anekada. Anekada means many, plurality, nana vidama, plurality, whatever you see, this alone illuminates. Yat vibhati. See, because of the substratum only, the superimposition is possible, we told you. And not only that, all the anekadha, the varied things in the world are illuminated by the light of consciousness only. Yat vibhati, this is the sad. Sad means this is the truth that illuminates all the plurality in the world outside. What is actually the plurality? How the things are distinguished between each other? By four things. Please remember these four things. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya. Nama means each has got a separate name. And each are distinguished between each other through a form, a different form. That form is in the space and time. So you call it by a name. And everything has got its own special gunas, properties. You understand? See, mangan sonna pulikanu. Illaya? See, if the mango is not ripe, raw mango, it has to be sour. Is that not so? And sugar cane means it should be sweet. So that is a guna. Guna means what? The qualities. And kriya, the activity. Different beings act in a different way. So activity. So in the world, things are distinguished only through nama, rupa, guna and kriya. So this sat, the truth, or the atma, the self, functioning through the Vijnanamaya kosha, that illuminates all this nana vidamana objects which are different from each other because of nama, rupa, guna, kriya. So this illuminates everything. But hemavat swayam avikriyam. Like gold itself is not going through any vikriya, any change. See, if you make ornaments out of gold, you have to mold it in different way, right? So to make a necklace, that particular design and all, it's different. And if you have to make a bangle, it's different. But the idea is, even though all these things are made, gold is not undergoing any change. Please understand. Gold is gold only. So gold remains itself. It is not undergoing any change. See, if you are very subtle in your thinking, you will understand this. Gold is not undergoing any change. Gold has not become silver or copper. Gold is gold only. You understand? But that gold is adharam. Without gold, you cannot make ornaments. So all the ornaments are made out of gold, but gold itself has not become anything else. It remains as a gold. So this self, because of it, all the nana vidamana things are possible, but it has not undergone any change by itself. Avikriyam. Hemavat swayam avikriyam sada, always. So therefore, since it has not become anything, whatever has appearing as something else is only vivarta, is only an appearance. See, this is the heart of the Advaita Vedanta. Heart of the Advaita Vedanta is Vivartavadham. Vivarta means what? Even though it appears like that, it has not become that. It is only an appearance. The rope has never become the snake. Even though it appears as a snake, it is only an appearance. Means what? Vivarta means it is not reality. It's a virtual reality. He does not become that. This is Vivartavadam. So the Brahman has not become the world, because Brahman cannot become anything. Brahman is changeless, substratum. But you are seeing something else other than Brahman, which is changing and all. Yes, you are seeing means it is not actual, it is just an appearance. So Vivarta, Vivartavadam means it is just an appearance, not the actual. Hey, I am seeing the mirage water. You are seeing, but it is not. It is only an appearance. I am seeing the world, Panchabhuta, Pancha Prapancha I am seeing. You are seeing, but it is not. So it is Vivarta. It's only an appearance. You understand? So the ornaments, actually speaking, if you see what it is gold only. What is Satyam? What is the reality of any ornament? Gold. That is the reality. And whatever you talk about Nama, Rupa, Guna, Vikriya, Kriya and all, it is only blabbering. Blabbering and nartham. In the Vyavahar sense, you for some convenience you are saying all those things. You are giving a different name to the different ornament because it is used in a different way. No? So for convenience you talk about it. But actually what is there? Satyam anga enna irukku sollu? Gold dhaan irukku. Because when you take away the gold, nothing remains. How beautiful. When you take away the gold, nothing remains. The akara doesn't remain. The form doesn't remain. So there is no name. And guna goes, kriya goes, the utility goes, everything goes. When gold is taken away, everything goes. Therefore, gold is the satyam of the ornaments, and not anything else. And whatever you say about its nama, rupa, etc., is only for convenience. It is not satyam means what? It is not reality. See, from the highest standpoint. You should not argue, no, some of the ornaments we are seeing, it is satyam only, we are able to wear. You may be able to wear, but what is there is gold only. So, remove all the gold and you wear the ornament. Come on. Then I will wear plastic. You remove all the plastic and wear. Then what to be done? And the donkey kada madri, chumma or ornament nenachu onu wear pannikka vendudam. You understand how beautiful it is? So this is what is the self is all about. Meditate on the self in the cave of your heart, Atmani, in your own self, you meditate. Om Purnamadha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Now I am going to give you a small